whether it be FMCG or automobiles or consumer category like HP and Vivo. So this is my brief introduction. Should we start? If anybody, if someone is able to hear me.
Yes, Nishan.
Yes.
Sure. Before we start, so I have made some basic questions. So that is basically whenever somebody is new into the search platform or is looking to learn search. So there are few basic questions that comes into the mind of the users or maybe in the clients when you are basically presenting the media plan for search as well. So I made some those questions. If you have another question, you can ask me, and if you have any concern, let me know. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Yeah. So I think the first question that comes in everybody mind is why search? अगर हमारे पास और इतने सारे platforms available हैं for marketing, whether it's offline or digital, so and why I need to spend on search and why search is important, whether it's SEM or SEO, why search is important, right? So to answer this question, we need to first understand the simple consumer journey. So हमारी थोड़ी consumer journey थोड़ी और typical होती है जब हम client को present करते हैं. सो मैंने एक सिंपल कंज्यूमर जर्नी बनाई जो हर किसी के लिए फिट होती है. सो in simple consumer journey we have three steps. One is discovery phase where people discover your products or services. Then the research phase, after discovery they tend to research about your products or the other competitive products available in the market. And finally the purchase. So this is the simple consumer journey, right? So if we talk about the research and purchase phase, so these are some of the channels where people usually land on it when they looking to either for research purpose or directly purchasing that product or services. So it can be search, your brand website, your marketplace like your Amazon or Flipkart. It can be comparison websites. So if we talk about mobiles, it will be 91 mobiles kind of websites and the offline stores. So these are some of the typically the channels that consumer uses for research and purchase phases, right? And we all know that search is the important factor for research and purchase. So there's no doubt about it, right? So in terms of the discovery phase, so first of all, we need to understand how people discover your products, right? So there are usually three ways on the basis of that they discover your products. It can be through online ads कि हम ad के through दिखा रहे हैं कि this is the products and services we are basically want to sell through online. Second is recommendations from friends and family, and the third is through marketplaces. So usually these are the three important factors where people discover your products and services. ये करने के बाद इन तीनों पॉइंट्स पे जो नेक्स्ट स्टेप होता है यूजर का, which will be search. अगर ये नहीं हो रहा है, so that basically means people cannot discover your products or it's not discoverable right now. So that's why search is an important factor, whether it is at discovery phase, research phase, or purchase funnel. Anybody have any questions? Okay, let's move forward. So this clearly tells us about that key why search is important in the entire consumer journey, whether it can be discovery, research, or purchase phase. The second question is that usually has been answered in the previous sessions, that can we measure the success of search? Uh, can we measure the success of our marketing campaigns through search? The answer is yes. So आप कैसे कर सकते हो? Either showing through Google Trends. So if you have any upcoming campaign, upcoming upper funnel activity campaign, it can be your offline campaign, it can be your digital campaigns. So उसकी अगर आपको success measure करनी है through any online platform, that should be through your Google Trends. You can clearly show that कि अगर आपने कोई marketing activity की है and if you are seeing a surge or a peak in the search trend during that period, that clearly tells us this कि आपका जो plan था that is working for you. बिकॉज यूजुअली क्या होता है हमारे साथ प्रॉब्लम ये आती है कि वी डोंट हैव दी गूगल एनालिटिक्स एक्सेस और अदर एनालिटिक्स एक्सेस ऑफ द ब्रांड. सो हमारे पास कोई तरीका नहीं होता टू बेसिकली अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारी जो मार्केटिंग एक्टिविटी है द अपर फनल एक्टिविटी दैट इज वर्किंग और नॉट. सो गूगल ट्रेंड इज द वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर व्हेन we talk about the success of our marketing campaigns. Apart from Google Trends, there are some internal tool also available to understand the search volumes and search spikes month on month, which is your keyword planner. This is the internal dashboard that will come under the Google Ads section. So आप इसको भी use कर सकते हो to identify if your campaign is working or not. But I would strongly suggest you should first do this through Google Trends. उसका reason ये होता है कि in Google Trends you can get the day on day search spikes as compared to keyword planner जहाँ पे आपके पास month on month search volumes आते हैं, right? And there is also one other tool or one other way to track your success is your search lift. So search lift is a proprietary tool of Google and it can only be used in your YouTube campaigns. So I would strongly suggest अगर आप कोई भी YouTube campaign plan कर रहे हो अपने brand के लिए, you should try search lift and it is free like brand lift survey. उसी की तरह ये चलता है search lift survey. And whenever you are planning any YouTube campaigns, you should try search lift because वो करने के बाद you will have a better measurable things in your campaigns. Moving on. So this is the
Is there any minimal requirement for the search trend, Nishan? So,
yes,
like
yes.
budget or something like that. Yeah.
So I think as per my last conversation with Google, you have to run your campaigns till 3 weeks in YouTube, and minimum investment I think is 5,000 USD.
Nishan, I had one question. As just mentioned, keyword planner, right? So recently, when I was working on one pulling search volumes for a particular client, so like I wanted to segregate the keywords from like upper funnel, middle funnel, and lower funnel. Like, how do we? Is there any way like the usual the usual method is a little tedious. Like, how do we do that? Like, is
So
there
the
any?
usual method is the only method. So there is no
Acha,
automated process as such. You have to use your
okay.
own insights and your own tactics to cluster your keywords into upper
Yeah.
funnel or mid funnel or low funnel. There is no other way.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Yeah. So this is a very basic question. मतलब ये usually हम yes.
Hi, Nisha. Sorry, I have a question. While from the previous thing only, while you said no minimum 3 weeks, uh, is there like a threshold, like category to category? What is the best? Like while you said 3 weeks is minimum, is what Google says to see it, but I'm sure it may differ from category to category. So in your this what is like the best measure? Do you wait it out 3 weeks? Dekhte ho, and then you see, okay, where is this, is there a lift or if there is something happening, or you wait it out like is there a weeks that you measure, while 3 weeks is a cutoff, minimum cutoff. um,
So Kala, very good question. So first of all, 3 weeks is not something you cannot run your search lift, but it's a best practice. हो सकता है that like you said, it is totally depend upon category to category. आपका हो सकता है कि you will see a search lift within 2 weeks, right? But it's a best practice. If you run your campaigns for 3 weeks, you will get a better results. And upon checking the data, so search lift में ना जब जब वो complete हो जाता है, then yeah, so after completing the search lift, Google will send you the report. It's not available within the dashboard. So you cannot
so
check
when
in between कि कितना आपका अभी तक लिफ्ट आया है and कितना आएगा. वो आपका चलने के बाद ही पता चलेगा आपको.
अच्छा, अच्छा, सो फिर वो एक केपीआई होगा ना, ब्रांड केपीआई होगा ना कि चेक करने के लिए देयर विल बी सर्टेन नंबर दैट आप ऑलरेडी सेट करते होंगे ना, लेट्स से एक्स ब्रांड के लिए ये होना चाहिए बेसिस व्हाटएवर कैटेगरी या पास डेटा, ऐसे होगा, राइट?
So there is no benchmark as such because हमने जो previous search lift survey किए हैं, we have seen 1000% lift as well on certain keywords. So there is no specific as such, but it will totally depends कि आपकी category कैसी है. So for example हमने garment steamer के लिए किया था for search lift. So garment steamer is a niche category. वो इतनी ज़्यादा बड़ी category नहीं है. So for those particular category, we have seen 1000% lift as well on our keywords. So that depends to category. But आप स्टार्टिंग में कोई बेंचमार्क नहीं दे सकते. यू कैन जस्ट एज्यूम कि हाँ 10 to 15% का लिफ्ट तो आ ही जाता है यूजुअली. वो आप एक बेंचमार्क लेके चल सकते हो, बट देर इज नो स्पेसिफिक बेंचमार्क. दिस विल टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन द ब्रांड एडवोकेसी एंड द कैटेगरी डेट वेयर यू रनिंग योर सर्च लिफ्ट.
सो आप, so then how do you say that ये best है, इधर मैं stop करूँ, like I'll stop it at here, like I've achieved for this brand, that is it basis the category कैसे perform करती है and कितना maximum जाता है for that category?
So first of all Kala, ये इसमें you don't have to spend anything extra while doing the search lift, right? It's similar to your brand lift survey. जैसे आप BLS करते हो different platforms के लिए, it works exactly like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there is no extra spend. Like this is a add-on thing that you are doing in your planning. कि आप जब YouTube चला ही रहे हो for 3 to 4 weeks, it's always recommended that you should also run search lift so that you have extra data.
Oh, okay, so that you are assured,
Yes,
surety
correct.
मिल रहा है कि you are at the right. Okay, got it.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Got it.
Also, so there is a you can only put search lift survey for 5 keywords maximum, and that should be your brand keywords.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Yeah, thank you so much.
So the second question.
Yes, sorry, Nishant, I had a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So if you could just throw some light on search lift. So you mentioned that for YouTube campaigns, we should definitely do a search lift, right?
Yes.
So what about the other kind of campaigns, like regular Google campaigns?
So it is not applicable. It is not applicable for other products of Google. So it works similarly. जैसे आप brand lift survey करते हो for YouTube, right? So it is only applicable for YouTube, right? You just need to connect your YouTube brand survey with your search lift survey. That's it. So it is not applicable for other media channels or other media platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? Okay. So let's move on. So this question usually don't arrive when we work as a planner, right? ये usually brand के side से आता है कि can we increase brand searches through paid search? Because brand usually किसी भी चीज को इस तरीके से देखते हैं कि there is some input that is coming when you do something in your campaigns, right? So the answer is no. We cannot increase the brand searches while investing on paid search. The reason being because search is a pull marketing technique. It's not a push marketing where you can push your products or services to the users. It will only be visible when the user have the intent towards that products or services. Brand searches can be increased through your upper funnel activities like your print, your digital publisher activities, your mastheads, etc. Yeah. Moving on. So similar question to this. Why spend extra money on SEM, like specifically for branded keywords when you have strong SEO? So this is the very basic question that usually any client asks कि हमें SEM पे खर्चा क्यों करना है, especially on brand keywords when you are already present in the organic listing. When somebody, for example, if I take example of Philips domestic appliances, so somebody searches for Philips air fryer, right? And you're already available at the first page in the organic listing with your branded keywords. So why to spend extra penny on SEM, right? So to answer this question, there is no straight answer to this. because it will totally depends upon the how your category is competitive. So for example, if I take any example, for example, tourism industry or the insurance industry, where there is not much brand advocacy available, मतलब जहाँ पे user को अच्छा offer मिलेगा वहाँ चला जाएगा, right? So for those kind of categories, you should bid on the branded keywords. But अगर मैं कोई example लेता हूँ, for example, Apple, where the brand advocacy is very high. मतलब अगर कोई Apple products के लिए search कर रहा है और iPhone के लिए search कर रहा है, 90% of the times he will buy Apple products or iPhone, right? So for those kind of brands, you may not require to spend extra पैसा on the branded keywords for SEM, right? इसका एक और आंसर हो सकता है कि you may not require to spend for all the branded keywords within your category, right? You can bifurcate them as per your need. For example, अगर मुझे Apple के लिए भी एक plan बनाना है for search on branded keywords, so I may spend money on the offers related keywords. I may spend money on people searching for new iPhone, upcoming launch on iPhone kind of a keywords. So you can make different category of your branded keywords and you can suggest to the client कि आप यहाँ नहीं तो at least इन keywords पे कर सकते हो, that is most relevant to your business. Okay, moving on. So similar to that question कि ठीक है अगर हमने SEM करना है, so which keywords bucket we should put more focus on, right? So for this thing you need to understand कि आप किसके लिए प्लान बना रहे हो, अभी आपका फोकस एरिया क्या है, whether it is your डिस्कवरी फेज, आप रिसर्च फेज पे हो या परचेज फेज पे हो, उसके बेसिस पे यू कैन गिव एडवाइस टू द क्लाइंट कि अगर आप डिस्कवरी फेज पे हो, so you should bid on generic and competition keywords. If you are at the research phase, then you should bid on brand and generic keywords. And if you are at the purchase phase, you should bid on brand and competition keywords to maximize your performance on SEM. So these are some of the basic questions that usually come in the search category. If you have any specific question for search, let me know. Happy to answer them.
Nishant, can you shed some light between SEO and SEM? So SEO in what sense I'm asking here is that Google keeps changing their algorithm, right? So in what basis you optimize your website for SEO? So is there any specific guidelines you have?
So Anil, I'm not an SEO expert, but I still can throw some light on SEO plus SEM. So as you all know that ki SEO is your organic listing and SEM is your paid listing. So in SEO, entire thing is dependent upon your quality of your website, the content you are placing on the website, the backlinks you are creating on the other channels, that is totally depends upon them. So in SEO, there are a lot of algorithms that usually come time to time, right? So अभी जो latest update आया है, I think in terms of SEO perspective, it is UI and UX experience. So मेरे पास एक sheet है, I'll send it to you guys. So that have every algorithm, जितने भी अभी तक algorithms आए हैं in Google, I think starting from 2011 and till now, I'll share with you. You can read them and you can probably ask if you have any questions.
That sounds great, Nishant. Thank you. Because there's one question in the chat as well. If you could take it up.
Yes, Akash, obviously SEO always takes time to give results. But अगर मैं आप in a nutshell, if I give you the answer is SEO तो आपको करना ही है. There is no other way that you should not do SEO, right? हम SEM क्यों करते हैं? If I specifically answer the questions in terms of branded keywords, to protect your brand, because market is very competitive and you don't know कि कब आपका brand का जो आपका जो share है, that will be taken by some other brands. So you have to protect your brand. That's why you bid on branded keywords, right? For generic and competition, you can you can connect your SEM with the business objective you are placing. For example, अगर मेरा purpose है to drive quality traffic, that will come from SEM only, right? If we compare with any other media channel, जो quality of traffic जो SEM देगा वो और कोई भी नहीं दे पाएगा, right? So the simple answer is कि अगर आपका एक goal है to achieve, so you should bid on SEM. SEO तो करना ही है. If any client is not doing SEO, this is not it. वो उनको करना ही पड़ेगा. There is no other option.
Nishan, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, since Google has been updating the definitions of match types, and they have removed the match type modifier, broad match modifier as well. So, would you recommend to still continue bidding on manual keywords or manual CPC, or do you recommend updating to different bidding strategy going forward?
Very good question, Yogesh. For this, it will depends if you have enough history on your account. So if you have enough, if your campaigns are always on and you have good history in your account, so I would definitely suggest you should go with automatic bidding. But अगर आपके पास कोई भी history नहीं है, you have just started your campaigns with a fresh account, so you should go with manual bidding first. Understands how your CPCs and your impression shares and your how your clicks are moving for 1 and 2 weeks. After that, you can select the right goal कि आपको actually achieve क्या करना है from the SEM, and then you can shift to the automating strategy, whether it can be your maximize clicks, maximize impression share, or your conversion based goals.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Nishant, Vaibhav here. Would
Yes,
you
Vaibhav.
throw some light on third-party search, which has been increasing, like the Amazons and Flipkarts of the world? And we have a app-centric client. So from that perspective, search is very important for them. And this is a very cluttered ecosystem. So can you throw some light on this one?
Sure. So if I go back 5 years back, so 5 साल पहले क्या होता था कि we only have two platforms, which is your Google and your Bing, right? Where you consider them as a search specific platforms. But now things are evolving day by day. जैसे कि मैंने आपको भी discovery phase में बताया था कि in discovery phase you only have three options, whether through your online ads or offline ads, your recommendation from the family or friends, or through marketplaces. So marketplaces has become very, very important. So जब भी you do conversation related to search, it will include your Google plus your marketplaces, whether it can be Flipkart and Amazon. Unfortunately, यहाँ पे you have the trend कि मतलब Amazon पे भी you will see the searches are increasing month on month and day by day. But the problem is you don't have a specific inventory on Amazon and Flipkart where you can basically showcase your product if your product is not something which is being listed on Flipkart or Amazon. For example, अगर मैं किसी भी ऐप क्रोमा का एग्जांपल लेता हूँ, सो क्रोमा कैन नॉट एडवर्टाइज देयर सर्विसेज ऑन Amazon and Flipkart on search specific inventory, right? They can obviously use the inventory of display inventories like जो भी above the folds and all those stuffs, वो display की जो inventories है, they can possibly do that, but search की inventory is not available, but in Google you can do that. So yes, if you are planning something, you can showcase them ki हाँ कि apart from Google, there are a lot of searches that is happening on Amazon and Flipkart, and you can take help from Amazon and Flipkart by taking out the category searches happening for that particular business or that particular category. And then you can explain कि हाँ हम इसको search inventory को leverage नहीं कर सकते हैं अभी, but definitely we can leverage the display inventory which is available within the Amazon ecosystem or the Flipkart ecosystem.
Okay, okay.
Also, Nishant, over the years, search has progressed in measurement as well. So you have spoken about search lift studies. Apart from that, can you list down few of the measurements which would be essential for our brand objectives? And think what are the new things which has been added, like, and what would help, like, which metrics will help in measuring what type of campaign objective?
Sure. So currently, in terms of the measurement and the surveys, currently we only have two options available right now, which is your brand lift survey, which I think everybody have used in their previous campaigns, and the second is the search lift survey. बस difference ये आया है कि पहले क्या होता था, you have to reach out to Google for brand lift survey, and you cannot implement the brand lift survey within your dashboard. But now you can implement them within your Google dashboard. So that is the major difference. And in terms of measurement, अगर हम वैसे देखें, so yes, there are lot of updates happening within the Google ecosystem, and that's why now everything is going automated. So because आने वाले time पे you have cookie-less world, right? So that's why everything is going automated. So you don't have to put much targeting and much all those stuffs. System will learn from your previous campaign performance if you have the right measurement in place and right analytics in place. So it is very important for you, अगर आप किसी भी campaign के लिए advertise कर रहे हो, if you have the capability to like measure the numbers within your Google Analytics और जो भी आप analytics tool use कर रहे हो, you should link it with your Google Ads so that the system will learn more and more about a category and your performance and give you the inputs accordingly. Because आने वाले time पे everything will be automated. You don't need to put any targeting and all those stuffs. It will be everything automated based on your goal. So it is very important to capture everything that is coming from your Google Ads platform.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey Nishant, Harsimran here. It may sound repetitive, but just wanted to know, how does this bidding work? Is it based on experience, or is there some standardized rule setting or something, that we follow as an industry, that okay, we should bid this much for this brand or this industry?
Yes, very good question, Harsimran. So typically there is no straight answer to this as well, because this will totally depends upon कि आपका उस category का experience कैसा है. If you are running this campaign as an always on, so you will have an understanding कि प्रीवियसली उसके कैटेगरी के बेंचमार्क्स क्या थे, क्या सीपीसी पे ऑपरेट होता था. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं किसी अपैरल कैटेगरी की बात करता हूँ, सो यू विल सी अ लेस CPC on those particular category as compared to other category. For example, insurance category हो गया या real estate category हो गया. The reason is because search is very dynamic. जैसे आप बाकी प्लेटफॉर्म्स के लिए प्लान करते हो ना, यू विल सी कि ज्यादा चेंजेस नहीं होते हैं. अगर आप सीजन वाइज भी जाओ, यू विल सी अ 10 to 15% इंक्रीज वेदर अगर आप फेस्टिव सीजन के टाइम पे कर रहे हो. बट सर्च इज वेरी डायनेमिक. अगर कोई एक एडवर्टाइजर भी come into the picture and bids on your keywords, so your CPC will dynamically change. So the right answer is कि आप एक benchmark लेके चलो पहले कि उस category का क्या है. If you don't have the benchmarks, when you're starting your new campaigns, you can check with your Google team. They will give you the category benchmarks and then run your campaigns accordingly. Understand कि कितना competition है, किस category में कितना bidding हो रहा है. अगर मुझे ये X achieve करना है और वो इस bid पे achieve नहीं हो पा रहा है, so what should be the right bid? So it's basically a test करते रहो different bids to understand your thing. So सबसे important अगर मैं bids perspective के लिए बात करूं, so the right metric that you should follow is impression share. क्योंकि जब भी आप bid कम करते हो, that will directly impacts your impression share. So अगर आपका impression share impact नहीं हो रहा है and you are getting the good results from that, I think you are bidding the right thing for your keywords.
Thank you.
Yes, Sujit.
Nishant, this is on behalf of everyone. So I'm asking 3 questions. Probably some of the concepts would get clear. First, what is the importance of meta content on search? That is the first question. The second question is, what are the factors that determine a better search result within Google ecosystem, and which also helps in adding to the Harsimran's point is lower CPCs and lower bid. And the last question is, when do you use broad match keywords, exact match keywords, and the phrase?
Okay, Sujit, got it. So coming to your first question, which is importance of meta content. So meta content सबसे पहले इंट्रोड्यूस क्यों हुआ था? So this is सबसे पहले जो मेटा कंटेंट का जो इंपॉर्टेंस है दैट विल कम फ्रॉम योर एसईओ पर्सपेक्टिव, राइट? एसईओ कैसे काम करता है? दो चीजों पे काम करता है. फर्स्ट इज योर क्रॉलिंग and then indexing and then giving the right ranking to your website, right? So crawling के time पे so there is a bots, basically Google के bots होते हैं जो that will go to your website, understand your content कि आपकी website किस content पे बनी है, and on the basis of matches it with the relevancy and then gives the ranking to your website, right? So crawling के time पे you give the meta content to the website कि मतलब कि आपकी जो meta content is basically the keywords that is related to your website based on your meta content and then gives the indexing and then ultimately gives the ranking to your business. So yes, meta content जो था वो पहले बहुत ज्यादा important हुआ करता था in terms of SEO perspective, but जैसे कि अनिल ने बताया कि there is lot of algorithm that is coming for the SEO purposes, जो अभी की जो लेटेस्ट है वो UI UX पे बेस्ड है. So उसमें मेटा कंटेंट का इतना ज्यादा रोल नहीं है, पहले बहुत हुआ करता था बट अब नहीं है. In terms of SEM अगर मैं बात करूं, which is the second question कि how to measure the performance, how to lower down your CPC on your search. So SEM जो होता है ना वो दो चीजों पे काम करता है. If you talk about the ranking of your website on SEM, so SEM works on two factors. One is your bid, what bid basically you are allocating to that particular keyword or that particular category. This is one thing. And the second thing is the quality. So quality basically the relevancy of your website to your keywords, to your ad copies and to your landing page. So for example, Google कभी भी नहीं चाहेगा कि आप किसी ऐसे कीवर्ड पे बिड करके यूजर को वो दिखाओ जो आप बेचते ही नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं फिलिप्स डोमेस्टिक अप्लायंसेस की बात करता हूँ और मैं शू कैटेगरी पे बिड कर रहा हूँ, सो दैट इज टोटली इरेलेवेंट, राइट, फॉर द यूजर जो सर्च कर रहा है. सो टू मेक द प्लेटफॉर्म इंटरेक्टिव एंड इंटेंटफुल, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप क्वालिटी मेंटेन करो, राइट? सो क्वालिटी कैसे चेक होती है? पहले आपकी कीवर्ड्स मैप करता है विद योर एड कॉपीज कि जो जिस कीवर्ड पे आप अपना एड दिखा रहे हो इज द राइट कंटेंट इन योर एड कॉपी. अगर वो मैच करता है उसके बाद दैट विल मैच विद योर लैंडिंग पेज कि लैंडिंग पेज पे भी वही कंटेंट है जो आपकी एड कॉपी पे और जिस कीवर्ड पे आप बिड कर रहे हो. सो दैट विज बेसिकली मेक्स अ बॉन्ड कि हाँ कि आपकी जो कीवर्ड है वो मैच कर रहा है आपकी एड कॉपी के साथ एंड इज मैचिंग विद योर लैंडिंग पेज. सो लैंडिंग पेज पे बेसिकली कंटेंट कैसे मैप किया जाता है? थ्रू योर मेटा कंटेंट जो आप मेटा टैग्स में देते हो, जो आप कीवर्ड्स इनपुट करते हो ऑन योर वेबसाइट, उसके बेसिस पे मैप होता है वो. So SEM is basically works on both quality and your bids. So अगर आप bids सही दे रहे हो and if you want to optimize your CPC, you have to improve the quality of your ad copies and your landing page. How? To make it relevant to your keywords. तो जितना आप उसे ज्यादा relevant बनाते जाओगे उतना better है कि आपको कम CPC पे करना पड़ेगा, right? And the third question, like whether to choose your broad match, your phrase match and your exact match, right? It totally depends upon your business objective, right? अगर मुझे सर्च से सिर्फ 200 ट्रैफिक 200 क्लिक्स लेके आने on a weekly basis, so I would go towards exact match, not towards the broad and phrase. And why? Because relevancy will be better on your exact match, राइट? सो जितनी ज्यादा रेलेवेंसी होगी उतना आपको कम पे करना पड़ेगा ऑन योर एवरी क्लिक. जितना आप ज्यादा ब्रॉड जाते जाओगे उतनी रेलेवेंसी कम होगी एंड यू नीड टू पे हायर. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं एग्जैक्ट मैच पे जा रहा हूं तो रेलेवेंसी विल बी हायर. अगर उसके बाद मैं फ्रेज मैच पे जाऊंगा तो रेलेवेंसी विल बी लो, एंड अगर ब्रॉड पे जाऊंगा तो रेलेवेंसी विल बी वेरी लो. एंड इट्स अ स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस कि हमें ब्रॉड मैच कभी भी यूज नहीं करना है अपने सर्च कैंपेन से, बिकॉज that will drive irrelevant searches from your campaigns. So it's a best practice. You should always aim towards your phrase match and your exact match. Broad match आपको तब use करना है when you don't have any knowledge about the category कि वहाँ पे लोग कैसे search करते हैं, उसका कोई search volume ही नहीं है, तब आप broad match keywords use करोगे. That is your last option. But generally you should first optimize your exact match keywords. जब वो आप properly optimize कर लेते हो, you will get the 90% impression share on those exact match keywords. Then you go towards the phrase match if you have the budget in place, or if you need to drive incremental traffic apart from exact match, तब आपको phrase match पे जाना है. Broad match आपको use ही नहीं करना है कभी भी अपने SEM campaigns में. I think Sujit, that will answer all the questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Nishant.
Hey Nishant.
Yes, Aditya.
Hi. I just want to check if have you ever tried the store visits campaign and what have been the results if you ever do ever-
Yes. So, Aditya, I think this is very, very important. So, whenever you are planning and pitching about search platform to the client, so it's not about Google Ads, right? क्योंकि Google Ads के अलावा there are other platform as well that you need to focus on, and you need to connect with your Google Ads. So, for example, Aditya just said about store visit campaign. So, अगर आपको कभी भी store visit campaign करना है, so you first need to create your listing on Google My Business, right? So Google My Business क्या होता है? Basically, if you search about any business, like for example, I take a laptop brand HP. So if somebody is searching with HP laptop near me, right? So you will see a lot of HP stores within your Google search result pages, right? That comes from Google My Business. So अगर कभी भी store visit campaign करना है, you need to first ask the client कि if they have any Google My Business account in place and it is properly active. There should not be any flaws, or there should not be any listing which is deactivated or disapproved, right? So after that, you need to link that Google My Business with your Google Ads so that आप अपने ad में जो nearby store है उसकी location दिखा सको, right? So Aditya, to answer your question, yes, we have done it in the past. I have done it for HP account to cater the store visit campaign for search, and we were the first one who have drive the results from the store visits across the region in HP, and I think that हमें काफी अच्छा results मिला था उस store visit campaign. So I think we were able to deliver around 6 to 7% of store visit number.
Nishant, there's a follow-up question to this, and just for clarification, on store visit campaign, we cannot track the number of visits to the Google My Business Ka page, right? Unless it's a certain amount.
Yes, but we are talking about store visits, right? So when you connect your Google Ads account with your Google My Business, right? So there is a methodology of Google where they can track automatically if somebody clicking on your Google Ads and doing a store visit in any of your brand store, they will count as one store visits. So there is a methodology that is being available. And I think in Google My Business, you can track certain metrics like your visits, your call to direction clicks, and your number of phone calls happened from your Google My Business listing. These are some of the metrics that you can track from your Google My Business. Any other questions?
Nishant, so during the planning phase, if we want to, for other categories like YouTube or display campaigns, we look at the reach planner and we understand the available reach for our targeting. And that's where we start our planning. But for search, what do you recommend? Should we use the search volume that the keyword planner gives, or should we go for the impressions that the forecasting tool gives for those particular keywords?
So for those particular thing, I think the best way is to go with your search volumes first, because whenever you are planning your search campaigns, your planning should start with search volumes. अगर कोई backend से calculate कर रहा है from the costing, that is the wrong thing to do, because it doesn't work like other media channels like your YouTube or your display activities, where you have uh, like millions or crores of impressions available within the platform, right? You have limited just नहीं दिख रहे हैं. If somebody is searching, then we can show our ad to the people, right? So your search planning should always and always start with the search volumes, right? But start करते हो, you will not get the right impression in place. The reason being because in keyword planner you will only get the search volumes for your exact match keywords, right? But
Right.
you will be planning for your both exact match and phrase match, and for those particular purpose हम क्या करते हैं, basically उस data को extrapolate करते हैं. So usually we will multiply the search volumes with 3 or 4 to get basically cater the phrase match as well. उसके बाद we understand कि हमें क्या impression share चाहिए for that particular category or that particular search keywords bucket, right? For example, अगर मुझे 80% चाहिए या 70% चाहिए, so from that particular search volume जो extrapolate होके आया है, I'll just multiply that with search impression share, which is your 70%, and that is your impressions for that particular campaign. उसके बाद then if you have the category benchmarking or the historical performance of your CPC and CTR, you can back calculate the clicks and the cost accordingly. But
Okay.
always and always start your search planning with search volumes. अगर आप costing से करोगे तो हमेशा गलत नंबर आएगा जो आप शायद अचीव नहीं कर पाओगे.
Okay. So when you say we need to multiply the available search volume with say 3 or 4, so is there a benchmark for
So नहीं, इसका कोई बेंचमार्क नहीं है. दैट इज टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सर्च स्पेशलिस्ट, उसको उस कैटेगरी के बारे में कितना पता है. एक जो टैक्टिक हम लगाते हैं वो ये लगाते हैं, इफ यू हैव लेस नंबर ऑफ कीवर्ड्स, फॉर एग्जांपल हम एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि हम सिर्फ 6 या 7 कीवर्ड्स को ही यूज कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम दी टॉप सर्च कैटेगरी, ठीक है? तो उस केस में यू मे नीड टू मल्टीप्लाई विद 7 और 8. बट अगर आप एक काफी अच्छा bunch of keywords ले रहे हो for that particular category, so the best practice is you should multiply it by 3 or 4. But that it depends upon the volume of keyword that you are taking for that particular category. अगर volume बहुत ज्यादा है तो you should multiply it with 3 or 4. But अगर volume बहुत कम है, if you're just picking 3 or 4 keywords which is your top search keywords, then you should multiply with 8 or 7. But there is no standardized thing for this. That will totally depend upon your learning to that particular category.
Understood.
Any other questions?
Hi, Nishant.
Yes, sir.
Nishant, is there any other tool you suggest we can use apart from Keyword Planner for to find related keywords or discover new?
Yes, so there is other tool available in the market, third party look like SEMrush, and there are other tools available in the market, but you should always rely with your Google Keyword Planner, because वो एक ऐसा tool है which is मतलब client is also like agree with that particular tool because that's a Google proprietary tool, right? So I would suggest you should always use Google Keyword Planner. But there are other tools where you can measure your Google searches with your other marketplace searches, for example Amazon and Flipkart. So वो compare करने के लिए you can probably use third party keywords tools, but I would always recommend you should use Keyword Planner only.
Nishan, just adding to what this question was, like, is there any tool for like to get competition insights?
So you can check SimilarWeb.
Yeah, that.
SimilarWeb, you can have the enough data available
Okay.
across the websites. Yeah.
Okay.
And in most of the cases, I think we use a SimilarWeb only for the competition insights.
Yes, yes.
Apart from this, if you just need to check the search volumes, so you can definitely take this out from the keyword planner. You can take any branded search volumes and you can compare with your search volumes and you can give it to the client accordingly.
Nishant, there are a couple of questions on the charts.
So Akhil have one question. If we have to maintain the highest paid SOV on marketplace search, what combination of keywords should be taken? Okay, so let's take if we are talking about marketplace search, let's take an example of Amazon, right? So see, you have to understand that key, what is the objective of placing your ad on different search platforms. Google पे you have different objective, because जब कोई Google पे search करता है ना, so it's not only about purchase or the lower funnel activity. It's also about awareness or research and all those stuffs, right? But if we talk about marketplace, you place your ad because you need to get sales from that category, right? So I would suggest it's not a part of SOV only. It's also getting your objectives done, right? कि आपका objective क्या है? And obviously in marketplaces, your objective is to achieve your ACOS or achieve your ROAS, right? So SOV depend करता है कि from which category you are getting enough number of sales or enough number of traction, right? So for example, अगर मैं maximum SOV की बात करूं, so the right approach would be creating a separate campaign for brand, generic and competition, so that you understand what value that particular bucket is giving you when you are bidding on those particular keywords, right? So obviously you have to, your approach should be to maximize your SOV on branded keywords and then focus on generic and very less on competition. So अगर मैं benchmark की भी बात करूं जो Amazon देता है on SOVs on these three buckets. So in brand, you should always focus towards 60 or 70% SOV on your brand keywords. In generic, you should aim around 40 to 50%, and in competition, less than 10 or 20%. That is the benchmarks on the SOV for brand, generic and competition. But ये totally depend करता है what is your ultimate objective on marketplace, which will be your ACOS or OS. अगर आप उस SOV के साथ अपना ACOS maintain कर पा रहे हो, then you should aim for that particular SOV. And if not, then you should not do it.
Got it. Thank you, Nishant. I just have one more question. So from a layman term, I just wanted to understand, does the ROAS benchmark differ from category to category or platform to platform? Or
Category
is
to
it
category.
category to
So
category?
usually category to, if we talk about Amazon, obviously if we talk about ROAS, platform का भी ROAS different होगा, because इंटेंट अलग है, सर्च का इंटेंट अलग है, मार्केटप्लेस का इंटेंट अलग है, आपका डिस्प्ले का इंटेंट अलग है. सो प्लेटफॉर्म का भी रोएस डिफर करेगा, प्लस आपका कैटेगरी टू कैटेगरी भी डिफर करेगा. सो अगर मैं आपको एक फॉर्मूला दूं यूजुअली इन द मार्केटप्लेस, सो lesser your average selling price of the product, the more will be your ACOS or lesser will be your ROAS. बिकॉज उसके पास चांसेस कम होंगे टू गेट मोर इंट्रैक्शन फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट. सो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम किसी 100 रुपए के प्रोडक्ट को एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हैं ऑन मार्केट प्लेस एंड 1000 रुपए के प्रोडक्ट को मार्केट प्लेस में एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हैं, तो चांसेस हैं कि 1000 रुपए के जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका ACOS बेटर होगा एज कम्पेयर टू 100 रुपए के प्रोडक्ट से.
Got it.
एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज योर ब्रांड एडवोकेसी, कि आपका उस प्रोडक्ट पे या उस कैटेगरी पे कितनी ब्रांडेड सर्चेस है. अगर ब्रांडेड सर्चेस नहीं है तो चांसेस आर योर ROAS विल बी लोअर एज कंपेयर टू अदर कैटेगरीज.
Got it. So brand searches, brand keywords are very important.
Very, very important. Very, very important. We have tested this, we have tried with different categories, and हमेशा यही होता है कि जिस प्रोडक्ट या कैटेगरी पे you have enough brand keywords, you will get a good number of ACOS बट बाकी पे नहीं आएगा, ऑब्वियसली वो हाई जाएगा।
Okay, got it. Thank you.
यस अमित।
तो निशांत, ये जो बीएमएम हट गया है उससे कुछ इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है क्या कैंपेन के ऊपर, या जो हमारे स्ट्रैटेजी जो है ऑप्टिमाइजेशन उस पर कुछ
नहीं,
पता है?
एज सच नहीं हुआ है। उसका रीजन ये है कि गूगल वांट टू सिंप्लीफाई द थिंग्स, राइट। सो उन्होंने क्या किया, बीएमएम हटा के जो भी फीचर्स हैं बीएमएम के, दे हैज बीन एडेड टू द फ्रेज मैच। So as such, in terms of performance, there is no big difference in the performance. BMM हटने के बाद, just to simplify things, it has been removed.
अच्छा, और ये कैंपेन स्ट्रक्चर क्या सजेस्ट करोगे अभी? लाइक शुड वी इंक्लूड 10 to 15 keywords in per ad group, या कोई दूसरा कैंपेन स्ट्रक्चर हमको यूज करना चाहिए?
So usually in one campaign, सबसे पहले ब्रांड और जेनरिक का आप अलग एड ग्रुप बनाओ। सेकेंड चीज ये कि जितना आप ज्यादा उसको कैटेगराइज कर सकते हो, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू कैन क्रिएट सेपरेट कैंपेन्स फॉर ब्रांड एंड जेनरिक, एंड उसके बाद यू कैन क्रिएट सेपरेट कैंपेन्स फॉर अ फ्रेज एंड एग्जैक्ट मैच, दैट इज ऑलवेज रिकमेंडेड। उसके बाद if you have 100 keywords or 200 keywords, I would strongly suggest don't put more than 20 keywords in one ad group, and try to create similar ads related to those ad group. That will give you better results.
तो ये SKAG क्या है फिर? क्या SKAG यूज करना सही रहेगा, या जो 20 words का बोल रहे हो, 20 keywords का बोल रहे हो, वो यूज करना सही रहेगा?
20 keywords, not more than an ad group. But Google suggest करता है कि अब उसकी importance नहीं है, but if you still follow that process, you will get better efficiency in your campaign.
बट नॉर्मली मैंने देखा है कि जो भी परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग वाले एजेंसीज लाइक आई प्रोस्पेक्ट हो गया, सोक्राती हो गया, दूसरे भी हैं, लाइक दे नॉर्मली डू SKAG, सिंगल कीवर्ड एड ग्रुप दे क्रिएट, और उस पे दे स्टार्ट।
यस, उसका रीजन ये है कि दे हैव अ परफॉर्मेंस गोल इन देयर माइंड, ठीक है, कि उनका ऑब्जेक्टिव है टू अल्टीमेटली मीट द एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव, राइट। सो उस केस में यू कैन स्टिल कंसिडर वन एड ग्रुप, बट आई स्टिल स्ट्रांगली सजेस्ट अगर आपका अदर इसके अलावा अदर KPIs है टू मीट, फॉर एग्जांपल योर इंप्रेशन शेयर और योर CPCs, देन यू शुड मेक अ प्रॉपर कैंपेन स्ट्रक्चर। प्लस क्या होता है ना कि अगर आप एक ही एड ग्रुप फॉलो कर रहे हो, इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू एज वेल to measure the performance and optimize your campaigns accordingly. If you have a separate buckets for each ad groups, it will be easier for you to optimize.
नहीं, सेपरेट बैकेट नहीं बोल रहा मैं, जैसे कि बोल रहा है सिंगल कीवर्ड एड ग्रुप, लाइक एक एड ग्रुप में एक ही कीवर्ड, और वैसे मैं मल्टीपल कैटेगरी।
वो मैं परफॉर्मेंस के लिए भी सजेस्ट नहीं करता हूँ यूजुअली, क्योंकि वो आपके लिए भी डिफिकल्ट होगा ऑप्टिमाइज करना अल्टीमेटली। बट हाँ, अगर आपका सिर्फ गोल है टू गेट द कन्वर्जन फ्रॉम योर कैंपेन, यू कैन ट्राई दिस, मतलब एक एड ग्रुप आप ट्राई करके देख सकते हो। बट इफ यू हैव अदर KPIs इन प्लेस, इंप्रेशन शेयर और CPC भी मेंटेन करना है, यू शुड हैव अ सेपरेट एड ग्रुप्स इन वन कैंपेन्स।
हाँ, सेपरेट एड ग्रुप ही रहेगा मेरा सेपरेट एड ग्रुप रहेगा, बट एक एड ग्रुप में एक ही कीवर्ड डालूंगा मैं। फॉर एग्जांपल एक ब्रांड कीवर्ड बनाया, ब्रांड कैंपेन बनाया, कैंपेन के अंदर मैंने एक एड ग्रुप डाला, ब्रांड प्लस वॉशिंग मशीन, ब्रांड प्लस लैपटॉप। पर एक एड ग्रुप हो गया मेरा ब्रांड प्लस, या लैपटॉप का हो गया, उसके अंदर मैं डाल दिया ब्रांड प्लस लैपटॉप। एक एड ग्रुप बनाया ब्रांड प्लस वॉशिंग मशीन, एक एड ग्रुप बनाया ब्रांड प्लस जो भी रहेगा, मैं ऐसे बता रहा हूँ, एक एक कीवर्ड डाल करके फिर उसको
SKU बेसिस पे यू टाइम, मतलब कि अलग-अलग प्रोडक्ट
SKAG, सिंगल कीवर्ड एड ग्रुप, सिंगल कीवर्ड एड ग्रुप।
सो अगर आप उसमें भी परफॉर्मेंस गोल पे जाओगे ना, सो इट विल टोटली डिपेंड्स कि आपका हर एक SKU का ना, कि आपका ROAS क्या है। फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे कि हम डोमेस्टिक अप्लायंसेस के लिए कैंपेन रन करते हैं, so every SKU has a different ACOS और every SKU has a different ROAS in place, right? अगर आप सभी चीज को एक ही कैंपेन में डाल दोगे, so that will also difficult for you to measure the performance and optimize the performance accordingly, because जो गोल एक कैटेगरी पे एप्लीकेबल है वो दूसरी कैटेगरी पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा।
बट मैं ऑप्टिमाइज इसको तो कीवर्ड लेवल और एड कॉपी लेवल पे करूंगा ना, कि मेरे कीवर्ड्स क्या आ रहे हैं, तो मेरे मल्टीपल अगर एड ग्रुप्स बना।
ऑप्टिमाइज आप कीवर्ड लेवल पे ही करोगे, बट अल्टीमेटली इफ यू आर बिडिंग ऑटोमेटिकली, राइट, अगर आप ऑटोमेटेड बिडिंग पे जा रहे हो तो वो कैंपेन लेवल पे हो जाती है, फिर आपका कीवर्ड लेवल पे इतना फोकस नहीं रह पाता, आप ज्यादा चेंजेस नहीं कर सकते। सो इफ यू आर रनिंग योर कैंपेन्स विद योर ऑटोमेटेड बिड, आई वुड स्ट्रांगली सजेस्ट क्रिएट अ सेपरेट कैंपेन इफ the performance of your keywords or your buckets have different performance as compared to others. बट अगर आप मैनुअल बिड पे जा रहे हो, ऑब्वियसली यू कैन ऑप्टिमाइज योर परफॉर्मेंस एट द कीवर्ड लेवल. Does this answer your question, Amit?
Yes, Nishant.
Yes, Anil.
Coming back to the question on SOV, so what's the difference between SOI and SOV, and which is better to measure?
So,
perform?
Google में, if we talk about marketplace or your Google search, so we have SOI. SOV का कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं होता इनमें, वो आपका सिर्फ YouTube और डिस्प्ले इन्वेंट्रीज पे होता है SOV का कॉन्सेप्ट. इन योर Google search and your marketplaces, we only measure the SOI, which is your search impression share. वो मतलब नॉर्मल लेमन लैंग्वेज में हम उसको SOV बोल देते हैं, बट इट इज SOI.
Nishant, in a post email, do we ever show SOI? We wanted to get 30% SOI or 40%, and we ended up achieving whatever. Do we ever show that?
Yes, definitely. So usually we have the primary objective of your building your SOI on your particular keywords buckets or your campaigns. So SOI, अगर SOI भी नहीं दिखाओगे क्लाइंट को तो क्या दिखाओगे, मतलब और कोई तरीका नहीं है to measure the success of your search campaigns.
Okay.
नहीं, बट SOI ओनली डिपेंड नहीं करेगा ना मेरा सक्सेस मेजर करने के लिए. वहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, इंप्रेशन शेयर, मतलब
Obviously that will depend upon your business objective या objective जिसकी वजह से आप सर्च कैंपेन चला रहे हो. So जब भी हम परफॉर्मेंस कैंपेन की बात करते हैं इन सर्च, हमें SOI देखना ही नहीं होता. हमें नहीं पता होता कि SOI कितना आ रहा है कितना नहीं आ रहा. हमें अगर ROAS अचीव करना है तो विल गिव द रिजल्ट्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ROAS ऑब्वियसली. बट अगर आपके पास वो एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं है and you need to measure the success of your search campaigns, then the SOI will be your right metric to do. Like
ROAS कहाँ से ज्यादा आएगा? मेरा सिर्फ मैं सर्च रन करूंगा या परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स करूंगा? मतलब अगर ई कॉमर्स में ई-कॉम की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, या रिटेल सेक्शन की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स या फिर मेरा सर्च कैंपेन?
Performance max, obviously. So your shopping will always give you better results in terms of getting the performance. अगर आपका end objective है transactions लेके आना, so you should run shopping campaigns. और shopping campaign run करने के लिए you should have Google Merchant Center in place.
Yes.
हाँ, जब तक आपका Google so this is for everyone. If you are working with any client which has the end objective of transactions or getting a revenue, so you should always suggest shopping campaigns. शॉपिंग कैंपेन चलाने के लिए यू शुड हैव गूगल मर्चेंट सेंटर इन प्लेस, जहाँ पे आप जितने भी आपके प्रोडक्ट्स हैं यू कैन लिस्ट देम ऑन योर गूगल मर्चेंट सेंटर एंड देन यू कैन लिंक दैट विद योर गूगल एड्स. आफ्टर दैट यू कैन रन योर शॉपिंग कैंपेन्स, बट शॉपिंग कैंपेन शुड बी योर गो टू प्रोडक्ट फॉर योर ट्रांजैक्शन बेस्ड कैंपेन्स.
तो अभी जो परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स है वो बेटर है या जो अपना पहले स्मार्ट शॉपिंग था वो सही था?
अब अभी भी मैं अपना पैसा शॉपिंग कैंपेन स्मार्ट शॉपिंग पे ज़्यादा लगाऊंगा, बट दिस इज ऑब्सोलीट नाउ, मतलब आगे चल के वो खत्म ही हो जाएगा. यू विल ओनली हैव परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स. द रीजन बीइंग बिकॉज यू हैव लेस कंट्रोल ऑन परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स एज कम्पेयर टू योर स्मार्ट शॉपिंग. उस वजह से मुझे थोड़ा वो लगता है कि स्मार्ट शॉपिंग इज बेटर एज कम्पेयर टू योर परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स. बट आने वाले टाइम पे यू ओनली हैव परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स. स्मार्ट शॉपिंग सब हट जाएगा, हट गया है स्मार्ट शॉपिंग, तो शॉपिंग भी हट जाएगा. यू विल ओनली हैव योर परफॉर्मेंस मैक्स.
Basically, you believe with intelligence over AI, is it?
हाँ, so जो हमने बात की थी कि everything is going towards now to automated, from manual to automated. So performance max is a automated campaign where you don't need to implement any targeting, placements and all those stuffs. You just need to put budget, your product category and your goal. That's it. उसके बाद वो automatically optimize करेगा on the basis of your goal.
बट उसके लिए मेरे को फीड ऑप्टिमाइज करते रहना पड़ेगा मेरे मर्चेंट सेंटर पे.
वो बस एक ही आपका रह गया कि यू शुड ऑप्टिमाइज योर फीड. यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड योर कैटेगरी, किस प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी आपको बेटर रोएस देगा, किस प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी में आपको लेस रोएस लगाना है. वो टोटली डिपेंड करता है योर इंटेलिजेंस कि आप कितना अच्छे से समझते हो दैट पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी.
तो ये गूगल मर्चेंट सेंटर को मैं ऐसे पूछ रहा हूँ, इन फ्यूचर ऑटोमेट नहीं होने वाला ये फीड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन?
So automated तो अभी भी है. If you use your XML feed on Google Merchant Center, you don't need to put much focus on that. But वही आपको मैनुअल चेक तो फिर भी करना पड़ेगा if there is any product which is getting disapproved every time. तो
Right.
वो तो मैनुअली वर्क है, वो तो आपको जाके डेवलपर को बताना पड़ेगा कि भाई ये प्रोडक्ट आपका बार बार डिसअप्रूव होता है या ये प्रोडक्ट्स कैटेगरी हैं जो बहुत जल्दी आउट ऑफ स्टॉक होते हैं. सो यू शुड गिव दोज डिटेल्स टू योर क्लाइंट कि मतलब अगर आपको बेटर रोएस चाहिए इन फ्यूचर, यू शुड मेंटेन योर स्टॉक इन्वेंटरी फॉर दोज पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी. सो दीज आर योर मैनुअल टैक्टिक्स दैट यू शुड ऑलवेज फॉलो. मतलब वो ऑटोमेट तो कितना भी कर दें, बट आपको मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन तो तब भी लगेगा.
Right.
Any more questions? We're already 10:06 now.
I guess we crossed the time. So one last question, if there anybody before we end the call.
Yes.
I guess they
Also,
were like, yeah.
sure. Also, apart from this, if you have any specific questions or operational questions or understand Google My Business or Google Merchant Center, you can connect me directly और हम उसके लिए एक separate session भी रख सकते हैं. No problem.
Thank you so much, Nishant. It was very helpful, very insightful. Thank you everyone for being such a support. So yeah, we'll send out a link for the feedback. Please fill up and let's make sure like we give importance to these kind of sessions in the moving forward days as well. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Nishant.